Now we're going to talk about the X and Y intercepts of graphs. So the X intercept is where your graph is crossing the x-axis, and anywhere that we're along the x-axis, we don't go up or down any. That means our y value is always 0 when we're on the x-axis. If we're talking about the Y-intercept, that's the intersection on the y-axis, so that means our x value is always going to be 0. So in these examples, we're looking for the x-intercepts and y-intercepts of the lines. Part A, we've got 3x minus 5y equal to 30. This is in standard form, so this one's really nice to figure out what those intercepts are. If we're looking for the x-intercept, that's where y is equal to 0. So anywhere I see y, I'm going to plug in 0. That's right here. 5 times 0 is 0, so now all I have is 3x equals 30. And when you divide by 3, you get x equal to 10. That means our x-intercept is at the point 10, 0. The y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. So anywhere I see x, I'm going to plug in 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So we are left with negative 5y equals 30. And when we divide by 5, y is equal to negative 6. So our y-intercept is at the point 0, negative 6. Part B, our x-intercept, for plugging in 0 for y, we have negative 2x equals 42. And when we divide by 2, we get negative 21. So we are at negative 21, 0. For our y-intercept, we're plugging in 0 for x, so we have 7y equals 42. And when we divide by 7, we get a y value of 6. So we're at 0, 6 for our y-intercept. Part C, y is equal to 3x minus 1. Now this one's not in standard form or close to being in standard form, so we're going to have to move some things around once we plug in our zeros. So for the x-intercept, that's where y is equal to 0. We get 0 equals 3x minus 1. Now I'm going to move that 1 over. So adding 1 to both sides, we have 1 equals 3x, and then we can divide by 3. So we have 1/3 for the x value, 0 for y. To find the y-intercept, we're plugging in 0 for x. So we have y equals negative 1, and there's nothing to do there. So we're at 0, negative 1 for our y-intercept. And in part D, again, for the x-intercept, we're plugging in 0 for y. So we have negative 2 equals 1/3 x plus 6. Now this is one of those situations where you can either distribute the 1/3 or go ahead and multiply both sides by 3. I'm going to multiply by 3. So we have negative 6 equal to x plus 6. And then when we subtract 6 from both sides, we get negative 12. And our y value was 0. Then to find the y-intercept, plugging in 0 for x, we have y minus 2 equals 1/3. And then 0 plus 6 is 6. 1/3 of 6 is just 2, and then we can add 2 to both sides, so we get 0, 4 for our y-intercept.